Hello Instagram, Emily here. I'm going to be talking about the fifth instalment of our philosophy series on Patanjali's 8 limbs of yoga. And you may be familiar with these limbs, or maybe it's something new to you, but I hope to ignite a little bit more interest in this philosophy through these series. So the yogic philosophy is something that I find really fascinating and really helps me to integrate yoga into my life, rather than it being a specific practice that I do at certain times of the day. And so I've covered already the yamas and the niyamas and asana, which is the seat that we take, this body that we might move or do meditation in, and then pranayama I talked about last week, which is the breath or the control, expansion of energy and breath. We can do very specific pranayama practices, and pranayama is also this kind of quite cleansing process of really uncovering what's within our energetic body or our pranic body. So the fifth limb is Pratyahara, and it's a really interesting limb actually. It's almost like a little bit of a transition, because the first limbs, the first two are very much about how we live in the world, and then asana and pranayama are these quite physical practices that we can do, even if it's quite on an energetic level. With pranayama, they are these practices that we can do that are quite tangible. And then as we move into the last three limbs, which are often together called samyama, the dharana, dhyana and samadhi are very much about the mind and about mental states and meditation. So pratyahara is the withdrawal of the senses. Pratyahara is withdrawal of the senses, and sorry if it just cut out then. If you're joining me live, let me know if you missed anything, and if you've got any questions. At any time, please chime in. I'd love to hear from you and answer questions rather than this just be me talk to you. But the pratyahara is this withdrawal of the senses, and pratyahara actually literally in Sanskrit means to draw towards the opposite. So if we think about our lives, we are so much focused on external, through experiencing the world through our senses, through the eyes, the ears, the taste, the touch and the smell, and even with our with the other sort of more subtle senses, there is often quite an external focus. And so pratyahara, in that leaning towards the opposite, drawing towards the opposite, is starting to turn our attention inwards. So withdrawing from those external senses and listening into our body, listening into our own energy, and whatever happens to be there when we listen in. It might be kind of noisy. It might be the mind kind of going over and over and over on things, and that's totally okay. It's actually this act of withdrawing in. And there's two books actually that I really just wanted to share with you that I love in regards to these concepts. They're actually both by Iyengar, but this one is the Light on the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. So Patanjali's Yoga Sutras is what we're talking about. This just happens to be Iyengar's translation of it. There are many others, and this is just the one that I've got. And I also love BKS Iyengar's Light on Life, which talks about the koshas, which might be another series. I think I'm going to go there. But this is very much, he talks on the different aspects of the sutras as well within this book. So I just thought I'd share those with you because they're kind of useful. But the actual sutra in the Light on Yoga Sutras that relates to pratyahara is Svavisaya Asam Prayoge Chittasya Svarupanukara Iva Indriyanam Pratyahara. So excuse my Sanskrit, I'm not a Sanskrit scholar, but I'm getting there. So hey Shani, how are you? So that translates to withdrawing the senses, mind and consciousness from contact with external objects and drawing them inwards towards the seer. and that is Pratyahara. It's a really beautiful translation of it, and Pratyahara we can absolutely experience, hey man, in our yoga practice. So if we are doing our asana practice, we can very much be in that space of turning our attention inwards, and really that is when we experience yoga. And this is the experience of live Instagrammers that my son is here. Hello, Seth. How are you? Can you just give me 2 more minutes to finish talking about Pratyahara? You can listen if you like. So Pratyahara is very much can be within our asana practice on our mat if we are really listening into our bodies, and that is what we're kind of aiming for in our yoga practice, of turning the attention in and really feeling into how the experience is within our own body. So pranayama is a beautiful way to start to feel that, because we start to listen to the subtlety of the breath. So you can see how all of these different aspects of the limbs of yoga are starting to are kind of layering themselves, so that we can go deeper and deeper and deeper into these more subtle ways of being. So when we practice Pratyahara, the idea is that we are trying to gain control over those external senses. So we're not trying to push them away. That's always going to be there. There'll always be, the hunger. There'll always be the distracting sounds around us. There'll be distracting thoughts. But really, when we're training in Pratyahara, we're training ourselves to not be disturbed by those experiences of our senses, so that we can turn inwards more. Thank you for the cuddle. So I will finish it there because I've got a little person attached to me. Just watch your hands, sweetie. And let me know if you have any questions at all about Pratyahara. And next week we are going to talk about dharana, which is concentration aspect of meditation. So looking forward to delving even deeper into these sutras with you all. And I hope you're well, and I will catch you very soon. Bye. Can you say bye? Bye, bye Instagram. And there you go.